dingy and opaque office. We're live and we're bad. How's everybody doing? I know it's late, but as Pops always said, better late than never. Better late than never. Olive's in the chat. Howdy, Olive. How are you? Sand Mountain Ballistics. Hunter's in the chat. What's up, brother? Sorry it took me so long, man, but I finally got that exhaust note video up for you. I was warming her up this morning. I was like, take a whole 15 seconds, make the video for Hunter. Hi, Spider Garage, Bryce DeCastro in the house. Howdy, brother. Bryce, I really enjoyed that live stream Friday night. That was cool, man. Boom, baby. Dave Lewis is in the chat. Howdy, Dave. Landon Custom Classics is in the chat saying, help. Is that a Beatles reference, Mike? Hubie's Garage in the chat. Abel Delatore in the chat saying, hello, world. Bryce's Ice Spider Garage is saying, that was fun. Thanks for hopping in. Yeah, it was totally cool, man. I mean, the trivia was fun. And, I mean, it was just cool hanging out, talking with everybody. There's a lot of good dudes. Met some folks. Abel D saying, Ari, love the Charlie Brown shirt. Yeah, I had it. It was technically a gift, but you know what I mean? Some things are just meant to be. Bruce Culkin saying, why the Y block? Bruce, I worked, that was just some of my work, but I just wanted to upload a thumbnail that wasn't my face. Just something automotive related. Hubie's Garage is saying, Landon, I know CPR. Can I help? Cousin Mike saying, took the bird out, and on one side my metering rod is sucking down and shuts fuel off on that side. Well, that's sketchy. Don't really want a lean condition or nothing. Cousin Mike just took off the 600 CFM Carter that was on his Thunderbird, and I think he threw on his Edelbrock, his 650 Edelbrock. So I think he's just dealing with growing pains. Olive saying, oof, I'm tired. Did you do yourself in? Was it a crazy day, crazy week? Chris Greenaway's in the chat saying, should try to get some sleep to switch to day shift. But I have in some nom nom nom. I feel you there, man. Abel D's saying, Ari, how's the diesel gig? Is your new YouTube name now Ari Tunes Diesels? I wish, man. I wish. Auto Salvage Outlaws is in the chat saying Ari is alive. Cousin Mike saying, clean the other car, probably put it back on, maybe go buy an Edelbrock AVS2 when I get insurance money from Geo. I didn't even realize you had an issue with the Geo. Is that how behind in the times I am? Cousin Mike, though, I did see that they got those AVS2 carbs on Amazon, and they got the stupid credit payments you can do. I was tempted to do it, just so I'm not dropping. I mean, it's not expensive, but it's more money than I want to spend at once. Hey, George is in the chat. Howdy, brother. How you doing, man? All I'm saying, I think it's from healing up. What did you do to yourself? Abel D saying, Ari, is the Apache getting a Cummins? You know, I would actually love to do a Cummins swap in one of these, like probably not the Apache, but another C10, maybe probably C20 or C30, because the Cummins are like 1,020 pounds or so. Chris Cadman's in the chat. Howdy, Chris. Charlie Roma's in the chat. Howdy, Charlie. Chris is saying Harry wants to change the 350 out for a Duramax. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad route, I guess. If I was going to go modern, I'd like it more than an LS, that's for sure. But yeah, no, those the Cummins diesels are like 1,020 pounds, which is like 20 pounds more than the 6-cylinder was. But no, I'm kidding. But it would be really cool. I mean, the way I drive, the way I use and drive the trucks, it's more conducive to diesel. I'm not really hot rodding. I don't do anything crazy or nothing. So a work truck engine, especially in a diesel capacity, would probably be perfect for my purposes. Hubie saying, I was so confused today. Uncle Tony and Barrows had alive at the same time. Yeah, Brother Bear had the pickup going on, and I think because it's getting so close to the No Name Nationals, he had John on and everybody was talking, so it was one of those good live streams. George is saying, cheers, everybody. Cheers, brother. Olive saying, the back was out for like a week back, threw everything off. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. I'm glad you're feeling better, though. Olive saying, the 350 seems too happy in there. She really, I mean, the truck is pretty dang happy. I need to do some suspension work. The outer tie rod end on the driver's side is pretty worn. I've been feeling it. And I have just a bunch of parts sitting in the back of the truck that I need to put on there, but I've been avoiding it. Spider Garage is saying, oh, I found the carb kit, by the way. Took a bit of searching, but I finally found it. Stromberg carb. Nice. I was going to, I saw that post. I was going to make the suggestion. I figured if it was something older like that, you might be, like, you might have to hit up one of like the Bob Drake or CW Moss, one of the old Ford sites maybe. GTI Warriors in the chat saying, Diesel. Chris Cadman saying, Heidi looks at you in a funny way. I have that effect. Hubie's Garage is saying, I felt like Spicoli. This new schedule is totally confusing. Yeah, I got I got into some of Bear Rose's pickup, but then I got distracted, and distracted. I was out with the family and everything, so I had to stop YouTubing for 10 seconds, and here I am. Spider saying, good old eBay Auto Parts. Yeah, I mean they really do have a lot of stuff. I mean, if you're in a pinch, especially. EB's Garage is asking if I have my flip-flop on standby for Hank. I do. Cat's wild. Chris Cadman saying, are you in an elevator? A grain elevator, Chris. He's asking, not saying. Tom Brown's in the chat. Tom, I was trying to subscribe to your channel, and I was trying to search it. I couldn't find it. But if you don't mind leaving a comment on one of my videos or something, Tom, that way I can jump onto your channel and subscribe, man. I appreciate you, brother. Welcome. Chris Greenaway is saying, I want to do a complete suspension rehab this winter, but for now I'll do a pole barn garage and paint it with rocker guard. It's brand new. Yeah, no, I need to do just the outer tie rod ends. I think my ball joints are okay. As last I checked, anyway. Things are, times they are changing. I got front wheel bearings. I need to do rear wheel bearings and seals. I'll probably just go through the diff and just check out the axles and everything else too. So, Martin LaForest in the chat saying, to Quebec. Nice welcome, man. Mexican Spec is in the chat. Howdy, Mexican Spec. How you doing? Mopar Man 1978 is in the chat. Howdy, brother. Cousin Mike saying, I have new air shocks coming this week for the back of the Bird. I was thinking of running some air shocks in the back of the truck finally, just because every now and then, it's not like I use and do any really heavy hauling with it, but every now and then I got an engine block or something back there, and it's like she's on the bump stops, so. Mexican Spec saying, I heard you had a family night, so we all showed up. Yeah, we all went out to dinner and everything. It was cool. It went a little later because my pops was lagging. There was football on, so he took his time. Chris Cadman saying, what kind of joints are okay? Hubie's Garage is saying, when is No Name Nationals? Seems like some of the guys are getting nervous, so it must be close. Yeah, it's I think it's in a week or so, or maybe 10 days or something. Nathan's Mopar Garage is in the chat. Howdy, Nathan. How are you, man? How'd the week treat you? Hubie's Garage is saying, Cousin Mike, that was so cool. The eBayer sent you the entire taillight assembly. Yeah, man. I mean, that was a good score, and it's cool that he got his money worth. He's like, money's worth. He's like, hey, just take this thing, you know. Brian M's in the chat. Howdy, Brian. Cousin Mike saying, Hubie, that was a huge surprise. Martin LaForest saying, Mopar good. Yeah, unless you got to get somewhere, then Mopar bad. No, I'm kidding. I love Mopar, man. A lot of Mopar love on this channel. Mopar Man is saying, I just ordered my set of U-bolts from www.stranglebros.net for the 8 3/4 for the Dart. They make all kinds of U-bolts and other variations. I think you were telling me about them, unless it was somebody else. It was a very specific website. You find the proper U-bolts, proper angle, and everything else. Stranglebros.net. Stanglebros. Strangle. I turned it into strangle. It's stangle, like Striegel. It is striegelbros.net. But yeah, cool day. Was cruising the truck. Got to see Hubie. Always a good day. Tom Brown saying, what rear gear is in the Apache? I believe it's 390 gears, Tom. 390 gears. I got the 390 gears. I got the SM420, the granny gear transmission, and a stock, very stock 1984 350. I have an Offenhauser intake on it and an older Q-Jet. But besides that, it's very mild. But it's solid for my purposes, you know what I mean? I had that Stovebolt 6-cylinder in there for the better part for 10 years, as long as I owned the truck. And it was slow. So it's kind of nice. Chris Cadman saying, Heidi did it again. For those that don't know, Chris Cadman's got a very flatulent dog. Ethan's Mopar Garage is saying, finally brought my 300 back home out of storage. Nice, man. They were charging you a lot out there last you mentioned. And they said they raised the price on you too. J-Bo's in the chat. Howdy, brother. Saying, how are you, pal? I'm doing well, man. I was really enjoying your live stream yesterday. That was totally cool, seeing you guys cruise through the back road and everything. That CUDA sounds healthy, man. That's nice. And you guys got the pumpkin together, too. Good times. I haven't been YouTubing as much, but it's nice to get back in and, catch everybody's live streams and just BS with folks. It's a lot of fun. I got Bryce's, I got Bad Tree Productions, and it's cool. It's definitely cool. J-Bo's saying things are getting there. Yeah, you guys are taking all three cars out to the No Name Nationals, right? You got the Triple Pickle, Nacho CUDA, and the Death Pumpkin. El Calabaza de Muerte. Sorry, Mexican Spec. I had to. Chris Greenway saying, I was looking at a 300H here, but it's too much for a young guy. 36. Oh yeah, that's not a cheap car. Wendy English is in the chat. Howdy, Wendy. Aiden's Mopar Garage is saying, Chris Greenaway, that's expensive. Yeah, Nathan. Chris likes like shiny cars, man. Mexican Spec saying, practice makes perfect, or at least better. Chris Cadman saying, if wood could, motorcycle. I would love to have a motorcycle, but out here it's just a liability. People drive real bad. Real bad. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying my Mako paint job used to look good. It's more than I got, man. I think the one on the paint on the truck was Mako or something. It was like the cheapest like seafoam kind of shiny blue they could find. GTI Warrior saying shiny cars. Give me something that barely runs. That's where I'm at, man. I was laughing about it because my buddy's sending me pictures of him throwing down Dynamat in his C10. He's got a nice '63 C10, and I was talking crap on him like, "Oh yeah, your AMG C10, huh?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you don't do anything about that rust. You're gonna have a C7.5 before too long." And I was like, "It's true. I don't touch anything but the engine and the brakes. Those two things: engine lights, and brakes. Anything else is like, eh." Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying he's got the patina look now. Everything I touch, Nathan, I'm so hard on everything. It's like, I don't know. It's like it's under a different atmosphere or something. I'm just hard on stuff, you know. I mean, I can have something like even my wallet's patinaed. Everything. Chris Greenaway saying, Ari, I bought mine for $5,800 and regularly needs seasonal compound and polish wax. The OEM paint brought back from the dead. Chris Greenaway saying, just an FYI, Tony with the marine paint compound wouldn't be my route. Well, I mean, Chris, that's a completely different thing there. You know, stock paint versus the single stage he threw on there. GTI Warrior saying the subframe bushings in my daily are gone. It's been threatening to fall out for a year now. Clunks and all. I mean, I'll take a clunk. It's when you get that vibration like the driveline vibration. Like I drove an old Cutlass with one of the wishbone bushings was gone, and it would do that. It bugged the hell out of me. If you can live with it, though, it doesn't matter. That's kind of... I think I'm missing messages here. Cousin Mike saying, Wendy, I'm afraid of clowns. There'll be... Send in the clowns. Send in the clown. Cousin Mike's talking about the old no-name nationals. GTI Warriors, I got that too. Just an extra vibe on right turns. I guess, yeah, if you can live with it, it's one of those things. It's like it's a preference. Like I got this annoying exhaust leak, and you couldn't really hear it in the video I put on earlier. But as soon as I get you accelerate a little bit, it's a steady. It's pretty annoying. And I think it's a crack around the stud on my exhaust manifold on the ram horn, the bottom 3 studs. And I'll just get another ram horn. Chris Greenaway saying, what do you think 77 lacquer paint is? Multiple layers of single stage. Yeah, well, there you go. You know what I mean? It's different. And D's in the chat. Howdy, Ant. How are you, brother? Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying, GTI, can you put the solid mounts in? Or he's asking, GTI, can you put the solid mounts in? Mater's Workshop is in the chat. Howdy, Mater. How are you, brother? Hunter saying, I hear the clown in the sewer had free car parts. Nice. Olive's laying back for a minute. Says, if not, everybody have a good one. I'll be on for a minute, Olive. Get some rest. Don't strain. Don't strain. Hubie's Garage is saying, I've been off schedule with Barrows. Is he going to have a car ready for the No Name Nationals this year? I'm not sure where he's at with his Ford. Mopar Man saying, they all float down here. Mopar Man, they got some new homes over across the freeway here, and they have a big balloon displaying that there's new homes. And I was thinking, it says in print on the balloon, new homes. And I was thinking how great it would be to get the same balloon, but just have everything floats written on there. GTI Warrior saying, Nathan, it's a 2000 Buick. I'm slowly swapping in fresh bushings as I get time. It's too crappy for upgrades. Hey, if it runs. Andy saying, at this point, I think I would trust Pennywise for new parts. Andy, how's it going, man? Is a Falcon coming together and everything? Tom Brown saying, trying to back my old 65 two-door Suburban project. Oh, trying to buy back my old 65 two-door Suburban project I sold 19 years ago. The guy still hasn't done anything with it. Would build it to pull my 13-foot Roadrunner camper trailer. Nice. That'd be a solid one. Chris Greenaway saying, Ari, so I primed my wheels tonight. I noticed some cracking. I waited the proper drying time. Could I lightly sand them and respray the affected areas? Chris, I ain't a painter, but I mean, I'm sure you could, depending on what kind of primer it is. I mean, yeah, that totally makes sense. What am I saying? Of course you could, huh? Chris Cabin saying, Ari, what did they take? Did I disappear? Is it gone? Am I gone? Are we still here? Enter the mind of Ari de Bernia, taking a trip to a place they call the Twilight Zone. Pirate Greg's in the chat saying, Ari, the Apache's looking good. Thanks, brother. She needs a little bit of love. It's been a while since I ran her through the car wash. I need to do some degreasing, clean the wheels. I need to get 2 new front tires. I've been rocking my spare for whenever I got the blowout. I think it's been like 4 months, 5 months. Wendy English is saying Barrows is not going. His dad is sick. Well, that's a shame, but just the same, I'm glad he's there for his pops. Cheryl Alastra is in the chat saying, Ari Lapagan Dikitan, what's good? Not much going on, Cheryl. Just hanging out over here, yapping at folks. Nothing crazy. How are you? Did anything cool happen? Cousin Mike saying, Hubie Barrows isn't going, and so far he's painted his motor. Spoken like a true cousin. And he's saying, yeah, Falcon is running, passed inspection on Friday, and haven't stopped driving it. Badass, man. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that, man. Cheryl Laster saying, Landon, what the heck? Landon S. is in the chat. Welcome. Cheryl Laster says, nice here. Thank you. This is how it's kind of deflated from the heat now, but when I'm not wearing a hat, this is what I have to do with it. Otherwise, I'm all flock of seagulls. Andy's saying 6 front wheel cylinders to get 2 good ones and 2 master cylinders. Neither one worked. I've dealt with that before, Andy. The reproductions, it took me 2 to get a good one for this, because it's a dual master cylinder. It's got a cylinder for the clutch and a cylinder for the brakes as well. And it took me 2 to finally get one, but this one's lasted a long time. Chris Green was saying, the problem with the No Name Nationals is that I'm not a YouTube guy. I like learning knowledge from people, but it's only your toolbox if it's worth word of mouth. Tom Brown saying, is the gas mileage about the same going from the 235 to the 305? It's a 350, Tom, but it's actually a little bit better if I'm not mistaken. I could be deluding myself, but I feel like it's a little bit better. The way I ran that 6-cylinder, it was just sucking down gas. Just light-to-light traffic, higher RPMs, and then hitting the freeway. You know what I mean? I was just flogging that thing all the time, getting, pedal to the floor. And then, the 350 is just kind of easing around most of the time, and the Quadrajet's pretty good. So I think it's about the same, if not better. Chris is saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Mater's Workshop saying, so you just ran away. Ran so far away, Mater. Mopar Man saying, a lot of us can't go due to lack of money, bills, jobs, family members, folks with health problems, etc. Yeah, Mopar Man takes care of his family as well. And it's difficult. Even me, you know what I mean, where I do have some spare funds, a little bit of spare time. I can't seem to work up the time and money to go. I mean, last year I couldn't because I had just started the new job, and this year it was just it's kind of not happening because of funds from not having a job. Cousin Mike's laughing at you, Hubie. Pirate Greg saying, Hari, where'd you get those awesome frames? Greg, these ones are actually just straight off of Amazon. They're cheapies. They were like 20 bucks or something. I forget what the brand is, but if you just search frames on Amazon, you'll probably find them pretty fast. And they're pretty decent. I always get swap meet frames, or I'll order something cheap, something generic, because I tend to break glasses a lot. Actually, I got a pair. Look, you can see my JB Weld repair on this last set. The drone broke these. These glasses, I kept them because they saved my eye. You know what I mean? Drone proof. But thank you, Greg. You can Amazon. Chris Cadman saying, do not ever enter the mind of Ari. Never. Black Alien saying, he's gay like P. Diddy parties. Damn, I'm getting roasted by a black alien. I knew this would happen. This would have never happened if I was black. GTI Warrior's saying, you should see my hair. Let it dry with nothing in it. It goes all Dawson's Creek. Yeah, mine's just straight, like Tears for Fears, Flock of Seagulls. Brandon saying, he was graduate. Yeah, it's been hard a year or so to figure things out since my dad passed last October. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Brian. Brian's a lot of folks here, they really take good care of their families and do whatever they can. Pirate Greg saying that's what it's all about. Terrence Seymour is in the chat. Howdy, Terrence. Saying, cheers for asking my question on Tony's Live. I worked it out. It was a loose connection on the ammeter. Mopar wiring. A whole different universe. Make sure I'm still in live chat. Make sure I'm not missing any messages here. I'm trying my best, guys, but I'm a blind soul, and reading off of this phone is not the easiest thing in the world. GTI Warrior saying Ari's war trophies. Should have the drone, brother. Should have shot that thing down. Aunt D saying, the thing that got me was I didn't realize that the original brake push rod wouldn't fit in the master cylinder, so the piston was always partly depressed. Oh, that's obnoxious, man. It's funny, the problems you don't think are going to arise with brakes, you know what I mean? It's always the piston, or, you know what I mean, the clevis. Clevis. I still don't like that word. It sounds like a dirty word. Clevis, it's always some kind of maladjustment. That held me back once. I did the brakes on a rat rod, and I'd done the hydro boost, I'd done the plumbing, everything was great, and the brakes were slightly depressed because I didn't adjust the clevis. Clevis. Mopar Man saying I got the zoot suit right. That's funny. That's what Hubie's neighbor said that earlier. He's like, man, you need a lowrider, and I was like, the truck ain't low enough. Pirate Greg, yeah, they're definitely scripts, man. They're definitely scripts. I would not wear glasses to be cute, man. That's why I wear such big glasses. I need that extra little tiny bit of vision. I really do. Ladies Workshop saying, Hubie's Garage, I know what you're going through. My dad passed away years ago, and my mom has dementia. I'm sorry to hear that, Mater. It's funny. Time's not nice to any of us, though, is it? You know what I mean? Look at me. I'm going to be 31 next month, and I already got forehead wrinkles. It's from years of hearing stupid shit and going like this. But yeah, it's, people get older. Hey, Spencer's Drink Reviews and Spencer's Drink Reviews and Chugs is in the chat. Howdy, Spencer. How are you, brother? Brian M. saying, Hubie's garage. I know how that is. My dad was in the end stage of Parkinson's when he had the stroke. My dad went downhill pretty quick in the final months. Yeah, like I was saying, you know what I mean. Time's rough to us, you know, but it's kind of amazing, you know. We all live on what we get done in our time here and everything else. Pirate Greg saying, same. I can't see past my. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. He's saying, hey, Ari, I ran into David Freiberger at a local hardware store yesterday. Asked him about when he would challenge Uncle Tony. He responded, I haven't thought of that guy in some time. Hold on, I haven't thought of that guy in some time. I just say it like Freiberger. GTI Warrior saying, have you played with air brakes yet, Ari? You'll play with lots of push rods and clevis. A tiny bit, GTI Warrior, a tiny bit. I haven't really gotten deep into brakes at all. Abel D saying, respond to want to send hugs and kisses his way? Laugh pretty hard. There we go. Pirate Greg saying, I'm grabbing me some cool frames. Yeah, Greg, they got some really nice ones on there. I got these ones too. And I look like an owl. Woo! I got these ones too, and they were like $19-20. And the optometrist always jacks up the price on these things, so I'll buy cheap frames, and I go down to Tijuana, and Narda Mejia is saying, do ASMR, please. Got you, brother. But yeah, man, just cheap frames. I go down to Tijuana, and I get the lenses done, and it cost me about $40-50 for a pair of glasses. Hubie's Garage is saying, yep, my dad got me into cars and was with me in the beginning of my channel, but not anymore. Yeah, Hubie's got 55 in the blood. The bright red car is his dad's. The Howie's 55. Chris Greenaway saying, if you have forehead wrinkles and crow's feet, then you lived a good life full of smiling and expressing yourself, although not vocally, but visually. Nathan's Park Garage is saying, Ari has all his glasses. Yeah. Yeah. This is the safest place for him, Nathan. The broken pair might go into the truck. I try to have an old pair in the truck in case they get compromised or something. I need to be able to drive home. Danny Boyd is in the chat. Uncle Corn Pop saying, I went to my local hardware store today for sanding discs and primer. The Allman Brothers once played in there. Nice, man. It was a 24-hour set. Chabo saying, dig the glasses. Classic madman. I got nothing on Don Draper, man, but I would sell appendages for one of those suits, though. That nice square cut 60s suit. Everything nowadays is too fitted. Major's Workshop is saying, Hubie's Garage, my dad used to circle track race back in Houston, but when we moved and a dirt track opened here, my parents really supported me. That dirt track stuff is so cool. So cool, especially when you look at the origins of it and everything else. Like those guys, like Outfits Garage, Russell, those guys are badasses. He's always building something, fixing something. He's grading. I think he's a pastor too. Those guys are the real deal. Mopar Man saying, remember that South Park episode where Eric had to get prescription glasses, walking into walls, etc.? The eye doctor had him read the chart. I'm a little piggy. Cousin Mike saying, my blood type is JP8 jet fuel. Pumped millions of gallons of that stuff. That's badass, Mike. Mexican Spec said, thank you, Ari, for saying that correctly. Yeah, I slip sometimes, but yeah, I just got to remember how it's spelled, and it's easy enough. Hubie's Garage is saying, Maters, we'll always have good memories of our dads. Oh, yeah. My dad's so classic, man. I don't give him enough credit. He doesn't work on cars, but he sold so many of them that he, got to give him some credit for that. Danny Boyd saying, I bondoed the hell out of a bunch of dents and 2 rust holes in the bedsides of the F-150 today. Because work truck. Nice, man. Hubie's Brian saying your dad did really good considering how long ago he was diagnosed. My dad was diagnosed in his 50s. Your dad is about 1 year older than my dad would have been. Pirate Greg saying dirt track is huge around here. Where are you located, Pirate Greg? I don't think I've ever asked. Hunter's saying, is your dad Kurt Russell from Used Cars? No, my Big Trouble in Little China. No, no, no. My pops is. I mean, we definitely look the same, but we're two real different people. You know, he's from Tehran, Iran, and he's been here since the '70s, but that assimilation thing's out the door for him. Mopar Man saying the F in F-150 means filled. Saying Youngstown, my local, it's like 40 miles. Nice. Hubie's Garage is saying Kurt Russell was a scream in Used Cars. Yeah, Hubie actually put that on for me. He enlightened me because so many of you guys have asked me if I had seen the movie. I think it was because I was talking about being buried in the truck, and Hubie was kind enough to put the movie on for me, and it was pretty damn hilarious. Need to watch that again. Actually, should have just bought it. I think it's like $8 or $7 on Amazon or something. Chris Greenaway saying, I made my dad have a second life. He lost all of his friends, and then me and a buddy from his work in town fixed up the formula. Now he and him meet almost every day. Nice, man. I thought you said you started it out with I made my dad have a second life, and I thought like maybe you drove him to have a second family, but that's actually much more pleasant. Chris Greenaway saying, me and my mom call it the Breakfast Club. Nice, man. That's cool. He's got someone to hang out with like that. Chris Cadman saying, you had them when you were born, Ari. Headlines. Danny Boyd saying, I was thinking of changing my name to Phil Your Work. Chris Cadman saying, you look like a criminal without the glasses, Ari. They do kind of take me a notch down. I've always liked that. Hubie's Garage is saying that was just criminal when they did that to the '57 Chevy. I was watching some cheesy movie. It was Smokey Bites the Dust, and there was like a 65 or so Chevy pickup with a hood off of a 60 pickup, and they flipped that truck, and I actually winced. I couldn't watch. Greg said, "Hey, oh, whoa." Danny Point saying $50 never killed anybody. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying, need to do your next live in a vintage suit. You know, the problem is that, I always shopped vintage clothes. I got that hipster streak like hell. I've always been into antiques since I was a wee one. But, hey, Pirate Greg, what you saying, man? I don't understand what you're saying. But I've always had that hipster streak, and I've searched a long time to try to find a suit, but because I'm so like oddly built and elongated, I can never find one. So I might have to have one tailored just for that purpose. Get some of those Hollywood cigarettes so I can do my Rod Serling. Hunter's saying, so I thought I don't want this Chevy. Second thought, I don't want this Chevy. Brian M. saying goes on a Trevor Phillips rampage against. Brian, the Trevor thing is pretty hilarious. I used to help. There was a barbershop across from my old house. It was a primarily black barbershop, and I'd help them all with their cars, and I'd come hang out for barbecues and stuff. They were good folks, but they kept calling me Trevor. They were always calling me Trevor, and I never understood until my brother explained Trevor Phillips. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying, are the enforced? I'd be like a like a doorman debt collector. You know what I mean? I don't think I'd be enforcing anything, Nathan. Mater's Workshop is saying, I did a video of the junkyard over a month ago. The 63, 64 two-door Caddy went to the big yard in the sky last week. We were talking about that on Bryce's live. That's kind of a shame because it's not like it was in that bad of condition overall. But I mean, even as sad as it is to say, even a Cadillac in good condition, you know, it's going to cost you some money just to restore even on a basic level, unless you're just using it. But, you know. Andy saying, I hear you. I wince and cringe every time I see a Model A get wrecked on film. Yeah, it's kind of a dang shame. Chris Greenaway saying, my dad was always a nose to the grindstone guy. When he retired, he talked about all these plans that never happened, but I made him sure as hell happy. I remember every car show he would say, I want it. Nice, man. That's just cool you get out there, you know what I mean? Like, you know, my pops and I, we'll just go get lunch or, you know, sit around and talk crap mostly. He'll chain smoke and, you know, we just chill out. Pirate Craig saying, Moper Man, I want them black and white wingtips. The two-tones are great. Tom Brown saying, anyone remember, or Tom Brown is asking, does anybody ever remember the old movie The Jet Set? I'm unenlightened, Tom. Hubie's asking, where's Bad 66 Chevelle at tonight? I'm not sure. He'll probably pop in. He comes in late. Barman saying, Harry stars in a gangster movie, Angels with Filthy Souls. Got that off of Home Alone. That's right. That's the Humphrey Bogart movie that he's got with the filthy animal. Hunter's calling it a night, folks. He's saying, take care, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping in, Hunter. I appreciate you, brother. I hope you have a great week. I hope Dakota's doing all right with that engine swap. Help him. Pray over him. Whatever it takes. Get the poncho running. But have a great week, man. Moon Crystal's in the chat saying, can you play a song called Four Big Guys? I want to get someone else's opinion about it. You know, I couldn't write this second, but I'll write it down and listen to it if you'd like. I don't know if that's exactly helpful. I'm interested, though. I'm interested. I like any musical suggestions. That's Four Big Guys. I'll write it down. I can do that much. Chris Cadman saying, Ari should grow a mustache. So I look like Freddie Mercury? No way. Chris Greenaway saying, Ari's a guy from American Graffiti with the glasses. Just to throw Ari underneath the bus like Tony would want. Toad? I'll be Toad in a hot second. You think I'm too good to be Toad? Boxman's saying, hold up, YouTube Shorts live. What's going on, Boxman? How are you? Welcome to the chat. Hunter saying, I've been helping him a little, Ari. Tight schedule, but maybe we'll get the parts in. Get it within a day or two to spare. Nice, man. As long as you guys get it done. I sure wish I could lend a hand. I don't know if you need it, but Chris Green was saying, how high is the water, mama? Hubie's garage is saying, Toad got the hot chick. Mopar Man saying, short, greased up handlebar mustache. Then I got to do like the whole like 70s biker leather thing, right? But yeah, Hunter, have a great week, brother. Make sure to check your fluids too. Especially after the 455 incident, check your fluids. Check your brother's fluid. That doesn't sound right. Don't. Terrence has got to go, guys, saying the Wi-Fi in my office is buffering so bad that I want to smash the phone. Apparently getting a Wi-Fi router in the office soon, which will rock. Have a good one, guys. Thanks so much for stopping in, Terrence. I'm sorry about the buffering, man. I'm sure my voice is annoying enough without the buffering there. But have a great week, man. Check your fluids. Zayeli's saying, are you a sinner? Yes. Yes, I am. We're all sinners. Aunt D's saying, my dad's been gone for almost 12 years now. He got me into old cars, and his coupe is technically mine now, but it's still his. That's how it goes, man. I don't know. I mean, I've always just really loved antique anything. I've loved old cars and everything. That I had a lot of experience with At Zero's Dart and stuff. He got me into the Mopar thing, and it's more of a curse than anything. But just the same, it's I don't know. I've always really liked them. Just anything old. Sayeli, that does not mean you're going to hell. Just because you're a sinner doesn't mean you're going to hell. Zayeli, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Come on. Here's Greenaway saying, Danny Boyd sure as hell don't like my generation's music except for country. In fact, God put me in 1970 to 80, I wouldn't go. Mopar Man saying, I was thinking of the Victorian era, not YMCA. My mind went straight YMCA. Which reminds me, like, I'm sure you guys have seen that Village People, like the cover of the album. Like, how did people not know? Same with George Michael. How did you guys not know? Or did you just know and no one said anything? I know everything was, big don't ask, don't tell. That's how Cousin Mike got in the Air Force, but see if he's still paying attention. Hunter's saying, I was about to leave, but everyone sins. That's what I was saying. Andy saying, I was raised on Model A's and Plymouth Valiants. Yeah, the A-body, the Valiants and the Darts, it's very fascinating to me. I really like the land yachts, like Polaras and everything else, especially if I could have a 70 Polara. I'd be pretty happy about that, but I need another Mopar like I need a hole in the head, so. Yeah, what Chris said. Mopar Man 78 is saying, oh, Hubie saying Mopar Man 78, I think they're Americans. They were used on the two-lane blacktop 55. That was a great movie, too. I'd never seen two-lane blacktop, and Hubie showed me that, and I was stoked on it. I thought, I really, really enjoyed that movie. It was so, like, beautifully vague and just going, I don't know, it had a good rhythm for me. Hunter saying, all right, this time I'm actually out. Night all. Thanks so much, Hunter. Fire Greg saying, great movie. Yeah. And I'm always sending him the gif of the end scene where the film just burns out. Just because it lacks context in the movie, so I send it to him when it lacks context. But yeah, we're getting some new folks in the chat. That usually means that probably one of the shorts I uploaded earlier has hit an algorithm, and when people scroll through the shorts feed, it'll tell them that I'm live, so they'll jump in and pop in, give their 2 cents. Do I have enough beverages, guys? Abel's saying, Ari, so what is your job at the new place? My official title, Abel, is Fluffer. And D saying, my wife has yet to stay awake all the way through Two-Lane Blacktop. Some movies just put you out, man. That's how, like, I think I saw, like, I finally saw the end of Josie Wales like a year ago. Outlaw Josie Wales. Chris Green was saying, judge against Bible thumpers. I was always taught at least judgmental people are covered in The least judgmental people are covered in piercings and tattoos, and the most judgmental ones are on the Sunday morning pew. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends, you know. It's always here, you know what I mean? It's a gunsmith I used to talk to, Mark. He was like, you know, it's not about that. It's not about this. It's about this, you know. And he just put his hand out. It's like, you know, me and you know what I mean? Person to person. But I don't know. I don't care. Judge me if you want to. I'm pretty judgeable. Danny Boyd's saying there's torque thrusts and there's daisies, which are similar. In the early 1980s, Puerto Rico, daisies were about the only mag wheel you saw. I really love those daisy mags. I really do. I'd probably look like an ass, but I would put them on the truck if I could. Tom Brown saying, on the Dirty Mary Crazy Larry movie, a guy I worked with lived 6 blocks from where they wrecked the car at the end. Where was that, Tom? I know it was a bunch of orchards. Was it out here in California, or was it? Brian M saying, the movie you have to make it through, there was the doors. That. Abel D saying, Bull Fluffer. Yes. Yes, Bull Fluffer. Mopar Man 1978 saying, Chris, have you seen the woke Antifa and BLM? They're constantly judging people with non-pink and blue hair. Yeah, true. Lazy A-hole Ranch is in the chat saying, what's up? What's going on, Allie? How are you? You guys bought the Geodome. That's pretty awesome. Aunt D's answering Abel saying, yes, I have 2 Model A's and enough junk parts to build a few more. Nice. Danny Boyd saying, the guy who built a Buick for Rain Man lived about 6 blocks from me when I was a kid. Nice. Chris Greenway saying, Mopar Man, I totally agree, but that's a problem. Oh, you guys are talking about the Antifa stuff. Tom Brown saying, yep, Cali. Would have to ask Scott exactly where again. It looked like it, the way the orchards and everything. You get towards Central California and it's all like that. Beautiful. Cousin Mike saying, we can recreate Biodome with Pauly Shore. Hubie's Garage is saying, I'm not a Mopar guy, but even I cringe when the Charger hit the train. Lazy Hayes saying, I'm good. Dude, that thing is going to be red. Yeah, that's totally cool. Did you like my idea about also having a pyramid and a ziggurat? Because they got the A-frame cabin, so they got, you know, that they got that. They're going to have a dome. You're going to have to make a Taj Mahal type building as well. Lazy A-hole Ranch is going to call the Geodome Thunderdome. Yes. Many dome parodies. They're pretty cool. Lazy, I've seen them out in the desert here and certain parts. I think, Hubie, was there a couple geodomes in Silverado Canyon, or am I tripping? Chris Green is saying, it's the Wolfman live from the wire. I think my favorite would probably, I'd have to go with the ziggurat if I could choose. Pirate Craig saying, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Danny Boyd saying, whoever put Pauly Shore on TV should be shot, along with whoever put Jon Stewart on the Jaylee. Old Two-Faced John. Lazy Hayes saying, I love your idea. I'm so dumb. Abel D saying, Ari, what's your next project? I'm going to sell all my tools, and I'm probably going to start like building those ships inside the bottles, something like that. No, Abel, I need to pop into that Dart. I think I got a good amount of maintenance I need to do on the truck, obviously. But I need to pop into that Dart. You be saying 55 Chevy. I like that idea a bunch. Find myself a nice 4-door 55 with a big block. Big block. Big block. Hubie's Garage is saying there's one Geodome in Silverado and one in Majeska, unless the Santiago Fire got that one. Oh, yeah. Okay, I wasn't tripping. Yeah, there's a couple Geodomes around. Lazy Ace saying, only if I can put my Lazy River moat around it. That's a really great idea. Up a lazy river where the robins sung. Pirate Greg saying those are the rules. Mopar Man saying Geraldo as well. Jerry Rivers. Hubie saying, or a first-gen Nova. I would love either of those cars. Tom Brown, I believe that's a 59 Olds. It's a dynamic. I think it's a 98. I think it's a 98. The flat top. That's such a cool car. That thing's been rotten for a good few years now. Good 5 years. A lot of money sitting right there too. It's not anywhere near finished, and there's still a lot of money sitting there. Yeah, that poor Oldsmobile's been sitting there, and then Ray dropped. We were scrapping a lift, and it rolled off his trailer, and he got the door pretty bad with that. But it did serve a purpose in that when I was rebuilding the 6-cylinder, the hood made a great table. QB's Garage is saying my house in Silverado was directly across from the Geodome there. Nice. Pirate Gregson, gotta love them Novas. I really do. I think I'd prefer. I'd prefer the 55. It's kind of more. I don't know. Then again, an early '60s Nova would probably be very easy to deal with. I think that the 55 would be more suited to my skills. I don't know. And decent. I looked at a 55 four-door not too long ago, but too many projects and can't seem to part with any of them. Yeah, all I got, the truck's not necessarily a project. It's just my, that's my vehicle. So besides maintaining my vehicle, all I got's the Dart. And, if I actually get myself into gear and stop being a lazy prick, I can get that done pretty fast, I think. Chris Cabin said, no, it's because you're cool. Thanks, Chris. Tabo Garage is in the chat saying, what I missed in the last hour? Me running my mouth, Tabo. How are you, brother? I watched most of your video earlier. You were talking about your garage space and everything else, but I didn't get to finish it. Brian M. saying, do I have to use the whip to get you going, brother Ari? I know we were talking about the village people and stuff, man. No, man, I just need to get over there. It's sitting right there in the yard. The storage folks don't care what I do. I think, because I've been paying on time for so long, I could probably roll in there with a few bodies and they'd just be like, all right, it's just Ari, whatever. But, how are you, Tabo? But yeah, no, I just need to get into it and actually get that Dart going, because that slant 6 is too nice to just let it sit there, you know what I mean? And then, the rest of the car will kind of eventually match the quality of the engine if I keep working on it. So, Danny Boyd saying, I've been doing body work every day. I'm not cutting grass or delivering pizza. I miss delivering pizza, Dan. Tabo saying, good down here, Ari. Don't stress yourself out on watching the rest. It's crap. BS, Tabo. Tabo, I was going to ask you, man. I was watching one of your videos, and do you use Koken tools? Mopar Man saying, I cleaned up the area around my Dart the other day, leaves, etc., dragged out the other 65 Dart hood. Going to be put on a bolt-on 68 Hemi hood scoop on the Dart at some point. Nice. Yeah, Tabo, I'm doing okay over here, man. Just cruising around. I was buzzing the truck today. I was having a good old time. Danny Boyd saying, my dumbass isn't good enough to shape Bondo with the DA, though. Got to use a block for that. Tabo, the Koken tools, it's like a Japanese brand. I thought I saw your ratchet was Koken. Able D saying, Ari, go fog the engine on the Dart. Cycle it even dry, but fog it with oil. Abel, I haven't even broken that thing in yet. It's brand new. So I was just gonna. I have a spare gasket set. I was just gonna pop it apart, check on everything, and then put the proper oil pan on because Barrow's Garage sent me the proper oil pan. So I was gonna put that on, and then a few hours and a tube of silicone, and it should be good to go. Tom Brown's out for the night, saying have a great one, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping in, Tom. I appreciate you, brother. I'll make sure to subscribe to the channel. I tried searching it again, and I hope you have a great week, man. Make sure to check your fluids. Chris Cabin saying, does Tony have an after Tony show? Mexican Spec saying, Ari, do you like the way your style of truck looks in a short bed? I do. I think they're pretty sweet. I like short bed trucks. It's not a preference. Tabo Garage is saying, most of my tools are Kingcraft. A lot of it is Taiwanese snap-off copies. Right on, whatever works, man. I thought I saw Koken tools, and I'm real curious about them because they're Japanese-made tools, and they're supposed to be real high quality. Brian M. saying, Ari, if you need help on the Dart, I'm close enough to the storage area to help you out. Brian, I mean, I'd definitely take you up on that, man. For the engine, I can yank that out and go. My buddy's shop's around the corner. I can go work on it over there. Just throw it on a stand and, get some crap done. But when I have to get the transmission in and everything, that's going to be kind of a different story. So yeah, down the line, man, I'll definitely take you up on that. Danny Boyd saying, go shoulder check some Druids. And D saying, kiddo wants me to fix my Tacoma. It only needs a frame. I would love to mini truck it or use the drivetrain in an old coupe or something. Abel D is asking where Tavo is. He said, I've seen Kingcraft and a Land Rover in Australia. Abel, Tavo's in Australia. Mexican Spec saying, hey, D, isn't the frame covered under warranty from Toyota? They covered a lot of Tacomas. Oh, man. Chris Greenaway saying, anyone know where to find emblems in okay-ish condition? Chris, Classic Industries makes a lot of those. I'm sure you already know that. But maybe you don't have what you need. UB's Garage is saying, Cousin Mike, yep, I have a coworker whose wife ran off with a pizza delivery guy. The tips have to be epic. That's gold. Cousin Mike saying, Chris, what emblems? Chris, that's another one too. You got to, you can always ask Cousin Mike or Brother Bear. I get most of my rare hot rod parts imported from Idaho, and you could do the same. Tavo Garage is saying, I want to get my ute back on the road as the daily. 3 on the tree shifter is beyond repairing again. And a friend, Interstate is spent the last year promising to send a floor shift I bought. Tavo, will an Indy-Matic work? I have one. A Hurst Indy-Matic. Might cost a penny to send it to Australia, but I'm willing to, man. Able D saying, Tavo, search Dobbs Down Under. He gets sponsorship from Kingcraft. Talk to him. He might help you get them to sponsor you. Hubie's Garage is saying he's way better off without her. Bad Attitude C10 is in the chat saying, hey, Ari. Hi, everyone. How you doing, brother? Welcome. This is my late show. Me sitting in my opaque office because it's the only place around here with any quiet. Uncle Tony does Sunday Night Live, so he's kind of like Saturday Night Live, and my show is more like Midnight at the Apollo. Tabo Garage is saying Impala inline shifter. I'm not sure on that one, man. I had the 3-speed Hurst Indy-Matic on my truck forever because the column shifter wore clean out. Hubie, there's a wedding tonight. I heard some crappy music earlier. They're going off. They were going off. Last night, Hubie, though, they had a Heroes Ball over here, and there's all kinds of folks from the service and stuff. And they had a jazz band, and it was pretty cool. There was another really nice, there was like a 65, probably C10 out, parked out in the yard here. Hubie, they had the DJ session earlier, I guess. People D saying, where's the gong? Cousin Mike saying, Ari, you need to go crash weddings. I mean, it probably wouldn't be too hard. I don't want to see anybody do that to themselves. You know what I mean? And plus, when you got a DJ like that and stuff, I work, I used to get paid to sit there and stand in front of a speaker and watch people. You know what I mean? So it's like, it turns into work for me. I find a corner and I'm like, just watch it. Hubie's Garage is saying a gong on the balcony would be epic. I actually do have a gong. It's in storage. I have a lot of useless things. It doesn't end. Brian, the 81 Triumph takes the cake. That's the best one. Cousin Mike saying, go get some good food at the... Maybe. I mean... And again, you know what I mean? It's like some mass-prepared crap. It might not be that good. Most wedding... It's like... Actually, no. This one's got a Tommy's truck. Mexican Spec knows Tommy's. It's like a chili burger chain they got out here. So they got a catering truck from Tommy's. So that's actually... I might actually, I'll take them up on that. But a lot of wedding food is like glorified. It's like a glorified soup kitchen. So I don't really... Chris Gainway saying, Landon just asking, I have a car guy in the area. Kind of chapped up that I got a project of his car. Abel D saying, all right, why not go out right now and get a plate of food? We will wait. Yeah, they'd be chasing me out with pitchforks and torches. Mopar Man saying crash bar mitzvah and funerals. Mopar Man, I once got a guy kind of pissed because I called his car his bar mitzvah Bishi. Chris Cadman saying, is Ari wearing pants? No. I'm wearing short shorts. Jerk. He was trying to say my buddy's dad had two Honda CB750s. That's as close to those bikes as I got. Yep. Cousin Mike saying Walt has hundreds of emblems in his office. Yeah, Walt is he's the owner of the junkyard where Barrow's Garage and Cousin Mike go. And I mean, you can find most anything out there. So it seems, at least, anything I can't find, they're like, oh yeah, we can get 3 of those. There's 7 of those. Tavo Garage is saying, oh, how I'd love a first model CB750. I only have 1970s motocross bikes. That's pretty badass, though. Jeez. Those aren't, like, floating around. Abel D is saying, is asking, where's Barrows? I love browsing junkyards. They're up in Idaho, Abel. That's my big joke about imported from Idaho. Just like the potatoes. I think I was on Shane Polito and Dallas Brown's Tech Talk on Wednesday, and they were telling me about a nice one down in, I don't know, it was Chula Vista or I think just San Diego, but it was right off the 805 in Maine. Mexican Spec, yeah, I guess they do. It was just like a Kate. I don't know if it's still out there. Maybe I can check. Let's stand up. Oh dear. Shut up, cat. No one wanted a cat. Is it still out here? Will you be able to see it? Yeah, I think maybe. Maybe. I don't think my camera will. It's not the, no, it's not really very clear. I'll wander out into the great abyss here. I can walk into one of these giant spiders. Yeah. There you go, Mexican Spec. Big old catering truck. There's the star of the show right there. Someone actually parked next to me. Truck must be looking too nice if they're not too scared to park next to me. Most people will probably fear abduction. I don't blame them. Yeah. Hell. Drone. Go, cat. Be free. Charlie Roma's out for the night. He's saying, good night, everybody. Good night, Charlie. Thanks so much for stopping in, man. Always appreciate you, brother. Hope you have a good week out there. Check your fluids, man. Tavo Garage is saying, send me the cat. You want a cat, man? It's technically Hubie's cat now, so you got to ask him. Mexican Specs, I've been told any Mexican Spec cars or trucks I send to California have to be 1967 or older, or they have to be smog to get a title. I mean, smog out here is pre-74. I don't know if it's different because you're importing them this technically, but it should just be pre-1974. Abel D saying, Tommy's good after the bar food. Love it. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. You know, they got that. Everybody gets kind of messed up at the wedding or whatever, and then, you know, they got cheeseburgers outside at least. Then they drive home drunk. And DC, one of the junkyards out here has a section of only old project cars. My buddy is constantly sending me pictures of them. Anything good, man? Cousin Mike's still playing Farm Simulator. He was doing crop circles earlier on the Farm Simulator. Ubi's Garage is saying that was a quiet party. They kind of... I think it's kind of it's because it's South Orange County. They have to be kind of quiet before a certain hour. So they stop the DJ and then they have their whatever. I don't know. They'll probably get loud again soon. Before 10 o'clock is usually the cutoff. Pirate Greg's out for the night, saying good night, y'all. Greg, thanks so much for stopping in, brother. Always appreciate you. It's always great having you in the chat, man, and have a great week out there. Check your fluids, brother. These guys are saying, yes, Tavo, take the cat. How about a piano and a cast iron power? Beaker 138 is in the chat. Howdy, Beaker. How are you, man? How's it going? Brian M. saying, I wish the Hat had a food truck. Brian, there's one right here in Lake Forest. Tavo saying, I'll pass on the Power Glide, but yeah, cat and piano. Tavo, I love that cat. He's a sweet old cat. He's just, I've always treated him like that. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Hondo with John Wayne. It's kind of how he treats his dog. I've tried to emulate that with the cat. Mexican Spec saying, I wonder if the food tastes the same. I'm sure it does. I don't know, though. Some of those, the older Tommies probably got some seasoning. Chris Cadman saying, I got a Mopar chest piece tattooed. Jeez. I'd get a shift pattern tattooed, but not a... I don't even know if I would do that. I don't think I'd get too much automotive. Tavo Garage is saying, my cats are my children. Yeah. I guess I'm just an abusive father, Tavo. I always take care of him. He's always got his food, and I make sure he gets some attention. We fight. You know, we have our battles. We do kung fu. He gets very upset when I use Tiger Crane kung fu on him. And that's usually when he attacks. He'll stalk me around. I did a short video about it, him just attacking me. But how many cats do you have, Tavo? Danny Boyd saying cat in a hat food truck. Brian M saying, yes, I know the location. It's right up the street, man. You ever want to get some pastrami, hit me up. I guess it's not right up the street, but it's close enough. Of course you know the location. You worked like down the street. What is it? You took a one trip down Rockfield, right? Mexican Spec saying the food trucks here are VW vans converted, but the roof raises up on the left side, so you have to park it backwards to serve people on the right. We need a video of that, Mexican Spec. Mexican Spec saying for around $10,000 US, you can get a fully equipped VW food van, truck, shipping, of course. Geez, that's actually really, I could make 10 grand off a food truck real fast. Andy saying he sent me a picture of a 73 Dart with a 318 a few weeks ago and asked me if I wanted to know how much. But I have too many junks. That would be a fun one. Tabo Garage is saying, good to hear it. Already too many folks get a cat, feed it, and just leave it to its own devices. No, I mean, that's just my interaction with him. You know, I'm not that. I mean, you know, that's just how I figure, you know, if you had another friend that was a cat, it would be the same thing. They kind of mess with him. They kind of spend time with him. You know. Tabo Garage is saying, I have 3 now. The most I've had at once is 9. That's awesome, man. 9 cats. Hubie's got 5 now. Abel, the cock was down here. Beaker 138 is saying, good, man. Getting my car back late this week. New gauges, new carb, front disc conversion, new mirror, and a few other things. I'm excited. Nice, man. It's always good just to take care of stuff, just run the dang car. Ubi's Garage is saying, cats are cats. They make you work for it. I have 4, and Ari always wants to make it 5. Dogs are loyal and always be by your sides. I like them both. Be by your side. I like them both. Yeah, Hubie's like, you know what I mean? My new idea is that I have to do a channel giveaway of the cat and just rig it to where Hubie wins. You know, I'll have a hat that'll just be like 5 slips of Hubie and 1 slip of anyone but unfinished project. And, you know, I'll just rig it to where Hubie wins the cat on YouTube. And I don't know. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, Hubie. You don't need another cat, man. Mexican Spec saying, my cats lay on the floor and they think I am petting them with my feet, but I'm just cleaning the bottom of my feet. cat rug. My cat gets like insult. If I try to pet him with my feet, he'll attack me. Like he gets like insulted by it, like he knows the difference. Brian, I'm saying parrots are a mix between a dog and cat. A Senegal parrot has been in my family for 30 years. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet parrot. Danny Boyd saying the truck I'm working on now has an ARE work topper on it with its own doors. You can remove the tailgate. I've seen those used for roach coaching. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, they have like a little. Chris Cadman's hungry. Is anywhere open over there, brother? I mean, is it one of those places where they're like, oh, no one eats after 10 o'clock? And D saying we have 2 cats and neither one of them really likes the kiddo. They're kind of. This one, he's an ass of an animal, you know what I mean? He's really, like, he'll get low on cat food. You'll hear the bag getting low, and he'll start to get, like, he gets, like, anxious. Mexican Spec saying, I dislike birds with a passion. My friend had a macaw and a parrot, and I can't see the attraction. Tavo's saying my pet birds are wild birds that come for regular feeds and sit on my hands. Nice. There's a lot of crows around here, and I'm tempted to get him a bag of peanuts because Dougster, Wolverine Garage, he suggested it. They're cool. I mean, I saw one poking around the rafters outside, beams, whatever you want to call them. Trusses, and he's picking the spiders out of them, and I was like, all right, thank God, you know what I mean, because I almost like ate one of those orb weavers the other night. I turned out of here and it was just like right in the face, like. Mexican Spec saying from 1988, VW vans here are water-cooled 1.8 liter Golf engine. They had plenty of power to pull all the weight and drive well. Beaker 138 is saying there's a parrot rescue near me, and if you go a few times and a bird picks you, you can have said bird. I think it's when their owners or human parents die. Well, Beaker, a lot of it is, pirates on the open sea. They're often warring amongst each other, and when a pirate dies, his parrot is usually displaced. And they're probably searching for someone with a similar characteristic to that said pirate that they belong to in that past life on the open sea. Brian M. saying, Hebe's Garage, Dinah is pretty quiet for the most part. But yes, throwing food, I hear you there. He's finger tame, but when he uses his beak, he takes a pound of flesh. Yeah, he almost got me. Hebe's Garage is saying, my doctor had a gray-headed parrot in his office that always said F you to the patients. Nice. Mexican Spec saying, all right, I'm glad the cats weren't here to hear you say that. Beaker saying exactly. I did Beaker, there used to be wild parrots in Santa Ana where I lived previously. They were actually at the shop I was just working at too. It's because it was down the street, but I did I think it was, I forget what it was on, maybe Snapchat, or I did a video with the Sarah McLachlan commercial. And I was like, every year pirates die on the open sea and their parrots have no place to go. Sarah McLachlan, in the arms of an angel. Danny Boyd saying parents are downloading on Napster. Hebe's Garage is saying our cockatiels were given to us both times. One was a gift to an elderly lady friend whose bird died, but she refused our gifting one to her, so we were stuck. Oh man, that sucks. And here I am trying to give you a cat. And D's saying you have to be careful feeding crows. You could get murder on your hands. Mexican Spec saying birds are cat food, full stop. This cat's caught a few birds. He gets mice. I've seen him eat gophers. Lizards. He loves lizards. Um, One time he caught a moth, and this thing was sizable moth. Beaker saying I painted Sarah McLaughlin's house. Nice, man. Danny Boyd saying, or he could actually eat crow. Cousin Mike saying, all right, do some research and let me know how parrot tastes. Cousin Mike, that's what I was always saying. Like, I want to eat one of these things. You know what I mean? They're wild. They're, obviously an invasive species. There was no parrots in Santa Ana. So it's like, so you got this bird that just flies around squawking. It eats tropical fruit off of people's trees, tree nuts. It's bound to taste pretty good. I mean, if you don't get any kind of weird typhoid or salmonella or anything. Chris Cadman saying, my aunt had cats. Crazy old lady. Oh, the crazy cat ladies are the best. They've got so much character. Danny Boyd saying, parrot fried steak. Yes. Dave Lewis is saying, tastes like chicken. I mean, I can imagine. It's like a game hen, but tropical. Andy saying, our cats are indoor only, but they did kill a snake that got into the house. Yeah, they're doing their job, huh? Cousin Mike saying, I don't trust anything that eats with its pecker. Tabo Garage is saying, my eldest cat, who passed 3 years ago, rest in peace, cat, used to mingle with magpies across the street. They were his protectors when a flock of minor birds attacked him once. Really? This cat there was a squirrel that used to come into the backyard and it would eat the guava off of the guava tree. And the cat would play with the squirrel. And it sounds ridiculous. I thought he was trying to kill the thing. I'm like, no, don't kill the guava squirrel, But they would play. The squirrel would come back down and they'd go back and forth and stuff. It was like they were friends. Mexican Specs saying, Aunt D, all my cats go out, but one chooses to stay in the room with my wife. She's the smart one. Kenny Boyd saying them squirrels are a nuisance. The guava squirrel kind of got a pass just because it was hilarious seeing him sit up on the fence and chew green guava. I'd be sitting there, I'd water the garden, I'd be sitting in the garden, and I'd just hear this like, and I'd look, and the squirrel, sure enough, is just sitting there, head poking over the fence. Hubie's Garage is saying we had sparrows that used to dive bomb our cats in the backyard. Hubie, there's that hawk that flies around your neighborhood, man. That thing's going to take Roxy one of these days. Abel D saying, I'm getting hungry with all this parrot talk. F the Tommy's truck. Let's find a local pet store and raid it. Abel, I'm telling you, man, they're out there in Santa Ana, man. All we got to do is pop a few of them. I think I was watching some YouTube channel. Maybe it was Forgotten Weapons, one of those channels, and they had it was like a Brazilian 20 gauge shotgun that had been cut down, and they were like, "What purpose does this have like this?" And I'm like, "Well, being in Brazil, I'm assuming that there are tropical birds. Unless you've dealt with them, you don't understand how obnoxious they actually are with all their squawking." And I'm just, I'm just a shot in the dark, but I think this shotgun was set up for parrots. Andy saying, I had indoor, outdoor cats growing up. We didn't want to deal with them in and out all night. Yeah. Envious Creations Car Club's in the chat saying, hey there, Ari. Hey there, everyone. Welcome, brother. How are you? Envious Creations is some of our brethren from up in Modesto, California. You got some great cars up there, man. It's cool. And the barbecues, man, I need to get in on one of those. QB's Ground is saying we have lots of hawks from the base. Roxy is 3 pounds, so she's a target. Is that what you're hoping for? That's why you let the dog out so much. Lazy A-hole Ranch is saying we have Stellar's jays that are obnoxiously loud. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're pretty. Same thing with the parrots. They're pretty, but you know what I mean? It'll get to you. Yeah, Envious Creations had a Envious Creations Car Club had a great video that featured an EV Impala. Lazy A-hole Ranch is saying they're dark blue and black little goth birds. Oh, I know what you're talking about. They got that black face. Those are really pretty. I think I've seen them up in Washington, maybe. Bad Tree Productions is in the chat. Howdy, Blake. Saying, what's up, heathen? Heathens, assemble. What's going on, Blake? I enjoyed that live stream yesterday, man. That was cool seeing you guys cruise through the back roads and everything. I was telling J-Bo earlier. It was a cool one. I'm glad you guys got the Death Pumpkin together, man. It looked like a full-on nightmare under the dash, and then you fired it right up, and I was like, oh, it's just at that stage. Right on. Shuby's Garage is saying, nah, she'd yipe them so bad they'd probably drop her before they ate her. Blake saying, thanks. It was cool. You finally got some Coors lattes in, too, huh? Olive's feeling better, back in the chat. Howdy, Olive. Welcome back. I'm still here. I'm still yapping. I went outside briefly to curse at the cat and show everybody a food truck. It's Cousin Mike saying owls get our chickens here. That one you posted was gnarly, man. It was like some kind of horned owl or something. We get barn owls out here, but you have to be out towards the canyon or something. It was a big old owl. That's how I feel like I look with the different, like especially these glasses, like an owl. But yeah, a lot of barn owls out here. Abel D saying, all right, got to check out and put the little one to sleep. Thanks for the good time and laughs. Have a great week, Primo. You too, brother. Have a great week out there. Thanks so much for stopping in. And make sure to check your fluids, brother. New Guys Guitars in the chat. Howdy, man. How's it going? Mexican Spec saying, we leave a window pane open in front of the house. We haven't seen a strange cat in the house in a while either. Maybe they learned their lesson. Cousin Mike saying, oh no, glasses. Bad Tree Productions saying barn owls and skinwalkers. Yes. Blake, I was accusing my buddy because he's got this cat that's this like weird skinny cat. It looks like half possum or something. And I was saying, dude, like you ever thought maybe the cat's a skinwalker? And he was actually getting kind of upset about it. So I was really happy with that. Mexican Spec saying neither of the birds ever warmed up to him. Keen senses. Finish my lemonade. Finished the coffee and I finished the lemonade. Now I got to work my way down the bottle. I got some schnapps over here. No, I'm just kidding. Is there anything sadder to drink than schnapps? See, now there's a little bit of cheering over there. Blake, I don't know if you've been on some of my lives. There's a wedding hall across the way, or a hall where they have like wedding receptions and stuff. And people are often cheering because they don't, I don't know why people get very excited to see someone else sell their soul. Like saying only lizard people get upset about their skinwalker pets being misidentified. I didn't think of that. He could be reptilian. Dino's in the chat. Dino Futurino. Brian M saying Ari needs a shot of Pappy Van Winkle. Lazy Ace saying Malorn. Could be reptilian for sure, Blake. I'm gonna like test him or something. Be like, just watch him blink. All I'm saying, well, I suppose if you're drinking schnapps to drink, a little peppermint schnapps is festive. Yeah, I could see that. Andy saying, yeah, check fluids, had a kiddo help mix, put antifreeze in the Falcon and F100 today. Had her test it too. Good to negative 20 Fahrenheit. Nice. Make sure I still got battery here. I sure do. Hubie's Garage is saying, root beer schnapps wasn't bad. Went in a shot glass and dropped in a beer. I never tried that. There's noise out there. Hold on. Make sure no one's stealing my cheap swap meet tools out of the truck. Cat. Some people outside. Gotta make sure, you know what I mean? Stay paranoid. It's good for you. Oh dear. Any Boyd saying schnapps, blue ribbon. See what I missed over here. Dave Lewis is saying crows go crazy over an owl decoy. I've seen those decoys before. I guess they're supposed to keep them away. All I'm saying, can't remember the last schnapps I had. I usually drink Jägermeister rather than that. I really don't drink much, but I tend to just lean towards Mexican. I drink Mexican beer, and I really like mezcal. I really like mezcal. It's what's local-ish. And DC, got to call it a night. Hopefully, see you all next week. Yeah, indeed, definitely. I'll be here, you know. I always say it, but I'm going to try to do some streams this week. Just try to connect with people a little more because I haven't been uploading as much. So it's like just kind of pop on here and talk with folks and kill some time, you know. But I appreciate you coming through. I'm really glad to hear the Falcons going, especially after all the BS. And have a great week, man. Check your fluids. Danny Boyd saying a shot of Jägermeister does have its own special endorphin rush like a bong hit. Jeez. Tell you what, man. Brian M saying, I need to introduce you to my brother John. He'll give you an education on bourbon. That's the last thing I need. Poor man saying Rednecks, White Sox, and Blue Ribbon beer. What is that? I can't even remember who did that song. Is that not Joe Stampley? I can't remember. Chris Cabin saying, ask my doctor to check my fluids. Took out all these tools. What the? Yeah, I mean, that's one of those phrases, you know what I mean? I say it, and it really could be interpreted in a lot of ways. Badry's saying, need to get a baby crow and raise it to go out and bring back money. And small, hard-to-find Mopar parts. Yes. Could finally get my 64 Dodge Dart taillights. Hubie's Garage is saying, I hate anything that tastes like black licorice. Yeah, why? I mean, all the everything that's changed, the future, they banned this, they banned that. Why can I still buy black licorice? Food nerds in the chat. Howdy, Ma. Brian, I'm saying, all right, I was a good boy until John was a neighbor. Yeah, I don't need any bourbon, man. It's delicious, don't get me wrong. I appreciate it for what it is, but I really don't drink much. Oh, they're worth a bunch. Mexican Spec found me a set down south, and I think they were like 8,000 pesos or something. But they're an expensive piece. I think I might have to just adapt something or just not have tail lights. I don't know. Olive saying, I like whiskey a lot. Tummy doesn't always agree with it very much. Yeah, I just got no business drinking stuff like that. Opar Man saying, check a crow's nest. They like to collect shiny objects, including money, jewelry, etc. Ravens as well. A raven would be rad. Once if this cat ever eats the dust, he probably live longer than me. I'll get a raven. I think that's the other pet I want. Olive saying 8,000 pesos doesn't sound like. I think 8,000 pesos is like $14. I think. I'm just kidding. I think it's like $400 or so. $400 or $500. I can't. Math is not a strong suit. Neither is language. Cat. Psst. Get. Don't make me get the spray bottle out. I'm live right now. I don't want people. I will get that spray bottle. Psst. Get. Thank you. Hubie's Garage is saying, I haven't really drank anything other than a beer in years. In those days, I drank enough for 2 lifetimes. Yeah, I bet. You know what I mean? You work as hard as, you were working. You got to even it out somehow. All I'm saying, I bet Mex has a better idea. Chris Cadman's mom had a pet crow. Nice. Dean Stevenson saying, I'm reaching for the shoe. No, the shoe is that's only when he's attacking me, because sometimes, like, we'll always play, you know what I mean? I'll mess with the cat. I'll, like, mess with his ears and whiskers and stuff. And he'll, like, get, and he'll kind of stalk me. And, which is funny, you know what I mean? I'll still keep playing with him. I'll let him stalk me, but sometimes he won't let it go. He holds a grudge. So the sandal's kind of like the, you know what I mean, the peacemaker thing. Beaker 138 saying, my skipper had a crow with a split tongue who talked. That's crazy, man. Opar Man saying, ravens are very smart birds. I like them. I like them a bunch. I think it'd be a fitting pet, too. Imagine if you walked up to the Apache and there was a raven sitting in there. Tavo saying, I'm going to have to drop out early, guys. Nearly 2 in the afternoon here, and I have a valiant roof to cut and patch. Hey, Tavo, enjoy it, man. Have a good time. Metalwork's always lovely, isn't it? But appreciate you stopping through, man. Always do. Cars are beautiful, and I'm going to finish watching that video as well. Make sure to record one. I'll watch it, man. But have a great day. Have a great week. Check your fluids, Tavo. All I've seen is a YouTube lady with a talking crow named Fable. Nice. The Wrath of the Flip-Flop, Opar Man says. Yeah, he'll get it. What is it? Ike from Tombstone. I ain't taking shit from no bartender. I ain't taking shit from no cat. Davo, it's the night for most of us, as far as I know. A lot of these folks are on the East Coast too, so it's a little bit later. But for me, it's about 9:30 at night. Damn cat. Yeah, 9:30 at night. Chris Cadman saying mom's crow mimicked. Yeah, see, that'd be a perfect pet. You know what I mean? Something that would make fun of me, keep me in check. It sounds about right. What are you doing? What are you doing? The cat's old, so it's just like bottom teeth, not in between the fangs, are kind of gone. So sometimes you'll look at him and he's just got his tongue out. See, I love the cat. You know what I mean? I hope because all I ever do is joke about giving him away. Someone suggested, I just toss him out the window of the truck when I'm going about 70. And, I thought, no way, because the truck's going to like fly right into the bed of the truck like a cigarette butt. I'll just end up in the same boat. Kenny Boyd saying, don't want no birds in the house. Just flying around. Better than drones, man. But I guess birds are drones, right, in the future? All I'm saying, back in the 90s, we had a neighbor up the way whose car alarm was always going off and making an assortment of really alarming sounds. One morning, it seemed to be coming from outside his window. Mockingbird. It's avenging it. Yeah, no, the magpies and mockingbirds will... They'll imitate the car alarms. I realized one was doing that in Santa Ana. I felt kind of bad. Mopar Man saying a squirt bottle with water does wonders as well with a cat. I'm equipped, brother. This cat ain't getting away with the damn thing. It's only for drastic measures. You'd be just saying, well, better than peeing on the carpet. Chris Cadman saying, does he fart dust? 10-year-old cat. Dean saying, or in your case, 25 miles per hour. Survivable. Oh, hey, it's not true. They don't always land on their feet. I've seen this cat eat shit, do some like clumsy stuff. I'm like, you're supposed to be a predator. Cat, show yourself. People want to see you. I don't know. But, yeah, no, he's a funny animal. He's really, he's going to have a great time over at Hubie's house. All the other cats. I'm really entertaining myself with that one. It's gone. Why am I trying to drink? It's gone. Just accept it, Ari. This here, right? Okay. Cool. Golden. Guess what? Got more beverages. Got it all. All of St. Hubie's getting that cat. That's exactly what the joke is. All cat. No, cat. You're not escaping. No, you will be seen. You will be seen. No, don't be an ass. Cat, damn it. Don't make me hold you like that. You hate it. Yeah, that's him. Programmer 76, welcome. This cat. I guess if I talk about him the whole time and you don't see him, it lacks context. Nope. I'll squeeze you. You can tell, look how pissed he is. That's the face. Like he would. This is loyalty right here. He's not attacking my face. Pissed. Absolutely pissed. Hubie's new cat. New used cat. Say hi to the people, cat. Psst, psst. Programmer 76 cents. Okay, cat. He treats you well. He's a good cat. Oh, God. He's a good cat. Dean saying he reminds you of Uncle Felix from Brian Cabral's. Isn't Brian back? Envious Creation saying he's healthy. Envious Creations, that's a nice way of calling him fat. Hubie's Garage saying no cats, no pianos, no power glides. That really sounds like maybe your next t-shirt or sticker. Programmer 76 is saying, oh, sorry, Pro Gamer. I read that wrong, excuse me. Glasses. Pro Gamer 76 is saying, well, have a good day, sir. You too. Thanks so much for stopping in. Appreciate you, man. Hope it wasn't too boring. It's just me in my opaque office. I should do a green screen or something, I guess. Like a mountain background or something. Mountainous. Hubie's Garage is saying, I already have Vader. That's a cool cat, though. The problem is Hank, he's got that Santa Ana street cat in him, so he would just be trying to, it'd be like him warring with the rest of the cats. The Warring of the Cats, a novel by Ari DeBernia. The Warring of the Cats, sequel to House of Retarded Cats. New York Times best-selling novel. Hubie's Garage is saying, what was the other one you were trying to pawn off that I won't take? Maybe the electric organ, Hubie? Hubie, I think maybe that or, what was it? There was something. Dean Stevenson saying, yeah, but this time Uncle Brian's shat in his own nest. Ain't no way I'm watching that hateful. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really enjoy it too much before. And then New Guy's Garage kind of called him out for being absolutely full of it, which was hilarious. And then he deleted his channel, which is like pure admission of guilt. But, if the guy wants to YouTube, more power to him. You know what I mean? He's into that stolen valor thing, so he knows that people fought for his freedom. Hubie's Garage is saying there was one more. Maybe I shouldn't ask. Something. There was something. I don't know. I pretty much try to pawn everything off on Hubie now. I mean, not in seriousness, you know what I mean? Hubie, you got yourself a new gift. Oh, jeez, what was it? I don't know. Chris Cabin saying, Ari just flew away for a second. My mind's always flying away, man. I'm lost. I'm a lost soul. Brian, I'm saying, I will admit I got a nice Traeger from Brother Ari. I mean, you fixed it, man. That was all it took. I still have the bucket sitting in the back of my truck. Hubie's Garage is saying Quadrajet. Maybe that. I don't know. It was something useless, something you couldn't use to add to the, the frustration of your already laden existence. I'm not sure. Was it the 3-speed? Just the broken 3-speed, or It might have just been the broken 3-speed, I think. But yeah, Brian, I'm so glad you have that thing, man, and it's getting some use. It sat in that storage unit for probably a good year and a half, and I did nothing with it, obviously. And I don't really know that I would have. QB's Garage is saying, I know, a Ford. I mean, I'm pretty audacious, but I don't think I would own a Ford. But yeah, Brian, next time I'm down there, please, you know what I mean? I'll text you or something. Please don't let me. The grease bucket. I don't know if you guys know this. The Traeger grill has a bucket that it just catches the grease on the end, and it's very conveniently sized and everything else for the purpose. And poor Brian's got to use this thing, and he's like sets it on the grass so the grease doesn't get everywhere. Not the 3-speed. What was it then? I mean, I don't know what else I have in there that's completely useless. Um, I'm trying to think on it. There's got to be something. Danny Boyd saying Ford Dearborn 3-speed. um, yeah, I don't know, Hubie. There's got to be something else though. I'm always trying to pawn something off on him. Brian him saying a multiple speed oscillation tool. Um, Something good. Figure it out because it's, you know, I want to remember so I can get you these things that you need more than anything. Danny Boyd saying Magic HEI module. That might have been it, the HEI distributor. That small block HEI distributor I have. There's that. Maybe the Dodge Dart itself. That's probably the next gift. Cat. But yeah, Hubie gets all kinds of crazy gifts. And, you know, eventually, Hubie, I'm going to have something you can actually use. Eventually. Hubie's trying to say, not an engine stand, not the electric choke haul. I mean, I try to offer things to you in case you maybe need them before I try to sell things, but people don't often want to buy them. So I'm reluctant to, I don't want to hold on to them. No one wants to buy them, so I'd rather just give them away sometimes. I want to try that, Hubie's trying to say, I know, another stove bowl. Yeah. You totally, I mean, I didn't want to, when it wasn't broken, I wanted to give it to you just because you said you could use one for the 4-door 55. But after it broke, you know, it's like, oh yeah, take this 40 over 6-cylinder with a spun number 3 bearing. It's yours. Dean Stevenson saying, I used to get free carrots from Uncle Brian, but I get them from another hateful person. I imagine some cosmic justice between carrots and this guy. Who's that guy, Dean? I can't click on the link. He'd be saying a 615-pound 235. I think it's 630, Hubie. I could be wrong. Because the later motors have another main cap, so it might be what it is. So it's technically heavier. But yeah, I mean, Hubie's got a nice 4-door 55 Chevy, and it's got a 3-speed and overdrive in it, I believe, and it was a 6-cylinder car originally, but he has a nice 283 that he could put in there. So it just, you know, don't get me wrong, I love the stove bolt. I used it for years, but it's not the most convenient platform. Let's put it that way. It takes some work. Chris Cabin saying 25 or 6 to 4. I love that song, man. Hubie's Garage is saying he weighed it without the intake and carb. Oh, there you go. 615 pounds of stove bolt and another 250 or so of Power Glide. What a deal. I still can't believe I moved one of those Power Glides by hand. That's a heavy. I might have a hernia. If I do have a hernia, I'm going to name it Power Glide. Damn. Yeah, no, that's some old heavy Chevy iron right there. That is it's beautiful stuff, you know what I mean? It's from a different era. I'm proud that I ran that cylinder as long as I did. You know, I mean, it's like you're kind of touching a weird time. It's different. It's different for sure, but I got this feeling, you know, after a while, like obviously there's a lot of people out there that run 235s, especially in the lowrider community and everything else. But I was kind of getting that last of my kind feeling. Like I almost didn't, even on YouTube, I didn't talk to anybody else that ran a 235 until Steve from Rusted Junk Garage started coming around. And he has a couple. He lives and breathes 235. So it was like, all right, you know, it's somebody else. But down here, I don't know anybody else. Especially in a 60, you know what I mean? Insane. Living with a hernia. Weird Al channels. James Brown's Living in America. Yeah, no, that one was heavy. Makes you really grateful. That's why I love the 904 so much. The Torque Flight. That's such a light transmission. You can pick one up and cradle it. It's like, you can move this easy. That's also why I love manual transmissions, except for this granny gear. That's like 140 pounds or so. Yeah, I don't know. I do kind of miss the 6-cylinder sometimes. It was really its own thing. I didn't realize how loud those lifters were. Like I can hear my fan now. I can hear exhaust leaks. Hubie's Garage is saying, if I can't get rid of that cast iron Power Glide, I'll make it my rural mailbox, and when someone maliciously hits it, we'll go through their windshield. Make sure you're not on any fault lines, man. That thing's... And just weld it to a nice steel post into the ground. I like the old Power Glides. I don't know. I've never ran one. I mean, I drove one on I worked on a 4-door 55, I believe it's at Bel Air, and it had a 265 and a Power Glide in it. It was all original. And I got to drive it before we desecrated it at the shop. And I really liked it, you know what I mean? It was like, this weird shift. And I was so used to the 6-cylinder, I was like, oh, this is great. I don't have to shift or nothing, you know, but they leak like hell. And it's, you look at them and it makes a lot of sense. It's like a 3 or 4 sections of cast iron pieces all gasketed together. I think, what is it? Is it 3 or 4, Hubie, with the tail shaft? Hubie's Garage is saying like a sewing machine. Danny Boyd saying 235 crank for a mailbox post. I can one up that, Dan. I got a 454 crank at my buddy's shop. I think it's worth money nowadays. I don't care. But Hubie, if you want it for your mailbox, you can have the 454 crank. There's another one. Hubie, you got yourself a 454 crank. I'm a horrible friend. Oh, man. Hubie, I was saying if you want it as a post for your mailbox, you can have the 454 crank that I have. Dave Lewis is saying, my mom's 57 Fuelie has an Iron Glide. It's a dog. They're funky, right, Dave? It's a weird machine. I just, I like old stuff like that. I understand, it's impractical. But if it's what's there, you know what I mean? It was already in the 55. It's like, hey, use it. It's the same as my 6-cylinder. It was already in the truck. Hey, just use it. You know what I mean? Give it a chance. But as far as, repairing it or swapping it into something, I don't know about all that. I don't know. Hubie's Garage is saying the 6 is longer. I would use the 454 crank for a boat. That's right. You got to build yourself a boat. You're going to need a bigger boat. I really want to get on that, you know what I mean? Especially once I get a shop space again and everything, I would love to have a big block on the engine stand and just kind of punk away on it, slow work. And like everything, I'd probably keep it stockish and eventually swap that into the truck or whatever else comes along. Hubie's Garage is saying that video on the new Power Glide is pretty cool. Yeah, that one was cool, right? The Periscope films. I don't know if you guys have watched that a lot. They have old stock footage and everything else. So they had this video about the Power Glide, and it was like what was the title? It was like The Power of Niagara Falls or something. It was talking about fluid power, and I did a community post about it. I was like, Niagara Falls of ATF, and I tagged Hubie in it, of course. Dean Stevenson saying a 235 has cold, soulless eyes. I can't read the name. It's saying Purple Mia. Saying, oh my God, you sound like my 7th grade teacher. Oh God, is that a bad thing? Welcome. Hubie's Garage is saying, yeah, they leak like Niagara Falls. Yep. Hubie, I'm telling you, the one that was at the shop, it did not leak from the transmission at all. This guy thought it was leaking horribly from the transmission, and it was a little tiny rubber splice in the transmission cooling lines. That's the only place it leaked from. And I mean, he ended up getting kind of an upgrade, but with the 204R, R4, I can't remember where the letter and the number go. But I don't know. It seems kind of stupid in hindsight. You put the nice overdrive transmission on it. You put a posi traction, what I think it was motive gear, rear end kit in this thing, and you still got a 265 and a 2-barrel with those funky old engine mounts. It's like, if you're going to go that far, just put a healthier small block in it or something. But I guess there was nothing wrong with the 265 and the 2-barrel. Chris Cadman saying 460 Ford. I do love 460s. Yeah, Hubie, it was totally an anomaly. That was a sweet car. I showed you some pictures of that one, the black 55 Bel Air. I would love a car like that. My goodness, what a nice rig. I got to drive it around. I drove it from the customer's shop. He had, well, not a shop. He had a garage where he would store his cars. He's kind of a lot of money guy. And I drove it from there to the shop. I drove it for alignment. And, I mean, I just liked it. It just fit. Could have been a little faster. Dean Stevens saying, man on a mission. Signal 30 from the Ohio State Patrol. I'll write it down, Dan. Or that's not lyrics, is it? But yeah, it was definitely a great car. 55 Bel Air, 4-door. Mordor. I thought it was great. Either a healthy or small block or a big block in that thing would have been unreal. I bet. I wonder what Hubie. Have you ever messed with those 265s at all? Do they wake up with a 4 barrel intake or anything different? Are they worth messing with? I haven't talked to. I know I've asked you about them a little bit, but I don't. You haven't really picked your brain on them. I know nothing. Mongo is only pawn in game of life. It's the second time the DJ over there has hollered, and I thought somebody was fighting or something. And it's a wedding, so there's a good chance of people fighting. Hubie's garage is saying my uncle punched them out and hot rodded them. He can make them run. Yeah, see, that would be kind of cool too. Just mess with what's there. And I don't know what goes into a big block swap into those Tri-5s, but it can't be the easiest thing to do. I mean, obviously nowadays there's kind of a set formula for this stuff. You guys, I always feel like the Tri-5 guys are kind of like the pioneers for all of us Chevy guys. You know what I mean? Danny Boyd saying maybe they'll get the pew-pews out. I don't want any part of that. Am I missing messages here? Dean saying, Mr. Ecstasy, my youngest daughter and Mrs. X's bestie are off to a horror movie, The Nun 2. Last time I laughed inappropriately, so I haven't been invited this time. Dean, I actually saw it last night. I saw The Nun 2. And I don't know if you guys have known that. It's about this like demonic nun, or this demon that takes the form of a nun. And get this, Dean, I'm sitting there watching the movie, and it's like a suspenseful part, and this lady walks right like in my peripheral vision, and she's wearing a long white like summer dress. It was scarier than anything that happened in the damn movie. I was sitting there like, whoa. And I lean over to my lady. I'm like, fucking broad's wearing a white dress in here. And she looks and she just starts laughing inappropriately, just like you, Dean. So QB saying he ran big Isky cams in the 265s. That's got to be a cool one. All I'm saying is that what the nun thing people are on about is, yeah, all of it's all right. It's pretty cheesy. There was like a couple Indiana Jones moments and a lot of weird magic crap, but it was cool. It was creepy. There's a lot of stuff like, whoa, you know what I mean? I don't know. I like cheesy horror movies. But yeah, the lady in her white summer dress, I'm like, fuck. And I have this horrible reaction sometimes when stuff like that, fucking broad. It's a horrible reaction, but it's knee-jerk and it's genuine. I remember doing that on a first date once. This girl said something, I don't know if it was arrogant or what, but fucking broad. I just let it out, and I was like, oh. White dress, you're just gonna like float by in a white dress in the middle of a horror movie, like. Anyway. Dean saying I had none. Dean, it's worth a watch. I mean, it was pretty cool. There was some cool jump scares and stuff. There was a scene where all of this news art kind of shifted and everything else, and I mean, it was a pretty, it was very artistic. It was a pretty cool scene. Whoever came up with it was kind of cool. Someone was smart. All I'm saying, I don't generally do horror. It tends to go for cheap startle responses and my nerves don't need. Yeah, I mean it depends. It's kind of like the lady night's kind of our thing, cheesy horror stuff. Like Halloween's coming up, we'll probably go on a couple of hay rides and do the stupid corn mazes and stuff. And that's what we get a kick out of. So we try to go. The last new movie we saw together was the newest Insidious, and that's when the people were having their freak out in the van. Yeah, he's beating on me, and they ran the battery out with the horn. There was no abuse going on, except for the abuse of the horn. I wouldn't laugh at abuse. All of it is like that sometimes, though. I mean, when you have the horror mazes and stuff, people will pop out and get you. And they always get me because I'm so blind. If you're in a dark corner, I can't see you. I can't. So if you pop out, it's like, and I'm not the type to get like, defensive or anything. I'm always just in fun mode. So, I just laugh. But that lady in the white dress, man, she got me. And it's after Labor Day. You know what I mean? That's just tasteless. Dean saying, I grew up on cheap American international C-grade movies. I'm a hopeless romantic. Dean, there's some great ones, man. There's some really great ones. All I'm saying, I have some friends that work for a local version of that. Haven't actually made it. I mean, if you don't like the whole jump scare thing, you know what I mean? It probably might not be your thing, but it's still fun. It's I get out and I get to eat junk food and laugh at some Halloween stuff, see some cool makeup, some cool costumes, clever ideas on how to freak people out. And cousin Mike saying, a lady with the Adam's apple got me good. Hubie's garage is saying better than punching him. Yeah, you know what I mean? I really have to, stay in that mode of being like completely open-minded and, remember, just like I'm there to have fun. You know what I mean? Like these people are just doing their jobs. Like even if they scare the hell out of me, it's like, that's what I signed up for. So some of them go too far. People like basically pay money to be in like some kind of hostage situation, but that's like those escape rooms. I ain't doing an escape room. Don't lock me in a room. No more locked doors. But the basic ones, just the cheesy ones, people popping out, cool costumes, cool makeup, people on stilts. I like it. Dave Lewis is saying, I haven't seen a movie in years. Dave, you're a machinist, man. You got time for you don't even got room for anything else up there, man. No, I'm big on the movies. I really movies and music and just funky art stuff. I really do love that stuff. As a kid, you know what I mean? We never went anywhere. I mean, we went places. Mom would take us out to downtown LA or we'd cruise or whatever it may be. But as far as like general activities or, vacations or stuff, they're few and far between. So a movie was a great escape for me, at least. I'd go to a different place, see something cool. And, you kind of hold on to some of that stuff. So I've always stuck with it. Mike's, Hubie's asking Mike, that's happened to you once or twice. Mike's having flashbacks to Thailand. Thailand flashbacks. Dean saying, I met lots of Americans, but you all are much milder than your worst C-grade movies. You all set this Kiwi up to expect more. You got to meet the right Americans, Dean. Some people will have you just like absolutely thrown. But yeah, the lady and I are total nerds with that stuff. All the horror stuff, we go and do it. We went to Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum out in Vegas. Um, there's the haunts. They have Knott's Berry Farm out here, which turns into Knott's Scary Farm in this time of season. We do that. That one's a little more mild. You know, it's more kid friendly and everything else. The Haunted Museum, not so much. The Haunted Museum was pretty interesting, though. They had Dr. Kevorkian's VW bus. They had Ed Gein's People Cauldron. Dan's checking out. He's saying, got to do body work all day tomorrow. Dan, thanks so much for stopping in, brother. Hope the body work goes well. I know it's a pain, but appreciate you always. Have a great week, brother. Check your fluids. Yeah, they had Ed Gein's Cauldron. All kinds of weird stuff. All kinds of weird stuff. Eerie place. Haunted dolls and haunted circus stuff and eerie. Hubie's Garage is saying, good, I can give you all Tanya's horror movies. I mean, Regina would probably be very, very, very happy about that, Hubie. She's got quite the collection, too. Not of just horror movies, but movies in general. Dean's saying, in my friend's Samoan culture, the worst thing is a guy getting to sit by his lady. That's just what I like. I found a crazy Scottish descent daughter of a wharfy dockside worker. I know no lack. Oh, getting set to by his lady. All I'm saying, the Samoan guys I met were always wicked nice until they're not. Doing security, I worked with a lot of Pacific Islanders. And they're good folks to have on your side, I'll put it that way. Yeah, quite the collection, Hubie. I got a couple Blu-rays I want to buy you, Hubie. I'm waiting to pull the trigger on those, but I got a couple in the Amazon cart, well, list. Because I know you like actually owning them versus streaming them. But yeah, the horror movies. I make her watch all kinds of horrible crap, B movies. That's more my thing, is the B movies. And yeah, it ends up being a lot of fun. Dean saying New Zealand is full of passive aggressive. I don't like that part. I like American rules of engagement. People are pretty passive aggressive around me, Dean. But this is California, so it's hit or miss. Half of everybody here is a transplant anyway. Cat, psst, don't do it. Don't. I'll get another cat. I will get a kitten. You'll have to deal with it. I will get another cat. Good. Dean's saying we need a bigger cat. Get myself a Jaguar. Jaguar. This damn beast. Dang old thing. A Jag. They have them in Mexico. They have them in cages. You go out and they'll just have them on display, kind of like, I guess why would they not negate the cages? They'll have jaguars out on display because they just run around the jungle down there, and folks will catch them, kind of like a zoo thing. And I remember walking down, I think it was La Bufadora down in Baja, and they had a jaguar in a cage, and I'm like, what? And I was pretty drunk, you know what I mean? All I could think is that I wanted to pet the jaguar. But, you know, they say that you don't get a full sense of your mortality till you're around 24 years old, and I was 22. So, you know. I hear people. I don't want to hear people. I don't want to hear anything. No, it's just doors closing out there. Dean saying, yeah, Jag. Dean saying, I'll get a Tijuana Jag from Mexican Spec. I like those cars. Those XJSs are cool cars. I do like them. But yeah, I wanted to pet the Jaguar. Jaguares, as the natives say. It's actually a really good band, too. I think Sal Hernandez. Jaguares, yeah. It's a good band. I worked security for them. Dean saying they're great with 35 horsepower. Cat. Mexican Spec saying, I know to stay away from Jags. Mexican Spec, but you know what I'm talking about? Like, you'll go down to those places and they'll just have, like what was it? There was a black one. Black Jaguar in a cage or something. They're just chilling. Dean saying 350 SPC. I've seen those swaps. I didn't know it was like a thing that there was like shops out here that specifically 350 swapped those Jags. That sounds like fun, you know what I mean? Because after you pretty much do away with the weird English part of it, and you just have the car. This is England. But yeah, they'll have monkeys, they'll have jaguars. You can get yourself a pina colada and just go hang out with a jaguar. Get gone in the rain. Yeah, proper engine inside, says Dean. 350, not that weird bangers and mash. Dave Lewis is saying the small block Chevy into the Jag made them great. I think it'd be a cool car at that point. You know what I mean? You get that nice small V8 and kind of a luxury car, and I'm sure it's not very difficult to adapt. Mexican Spec saying, all right, I don't travel in the cartel universe. No, I was at La Bufadora, man. I was a tourist. I don't know, though, man. Those narcos seem to be having a lot of fun. I want a gold-plated gun. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a Don Chelino Sanchez sticker on the truck and just make my own corridos. Dave Lewis is saying it's an easy swap. There's a guy on YouTube. He's kind of eccentric, to say the least, but he's got a 350 swapped XJ, and it's got like a Vortec 350 in there, so it's like the easiest engine to deal with ever made, practically. That's cool. It's an easy swap like that. That might be fun. Jeez, I bet I could find one. Mexican Spec saying, who else would have a Jaguar but a cartel boss? Some dude who went into the jungle and caught one to make a couple bucks off of tourists. Olive saying, I do love those British car interiors. I don't think I've ever been in one. My dad had a Land Rover for a little while, but that thing was probably the worst car he ever had. And he used to own like Peugeots and Citroens and stuff, so that's saying something. Dean's saying independent rear suspension was made in USA. So are the auto gearboxes. Why Jaguar stopped at the Salisbury rear and Turbo 400, I'll never know. Palmy gets. Yeah, it's all bangers and mash. Olive saying I made the F-Type with an actually great sounding V6 and a stick. One of the few recent cars I might go for if I could. I think I've seen a few of those around here, Olive. They're pretty nice looking cars. I'm not big on newer cars. It's like a liability. There's too much going on. EV's Garage is saying John Reynolds with the transverse mounted LS and a Corvair is insane. His fab skills are incredible. You can link that video if you want. You feel so obligated. That was pretty cool to see, though. I lost my water cap. Oh, no. Whew. Jaguar. Yeah, that's right. When it's got a V8, when it's got the 350 in it, it's a Jaguar. But with the original equipment, it's a Jaguar. Oh, man. Well, guys, we're right here at about 2.5 hours. I was going to go ahead and call it if it's all right with you guys. Hubie just linked the John Reynolds video of the transverse mounted LS inside of a Corvair. And it's a pretty deadly car. It's very quick. But the guy, John Reynolds, he's a real badass. He's thinking. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. If you guys want to check out that link, that would be really cool. I'm sure you get a kick out of it. But other than that, I really appreciate everybody coming through, everybody, talking and teaching me things and telling me things. And we'll see what this week brings. We'll see. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll get struck by lightning. Maybe I'll win the lotto. We don't know. Who knows? Yeah, Beaker 138 saying it's 1:15 in Quebec, hitting the hay. Yeah, exactly. Beaker, have a great week. Everybody, have a wonderful, prosperous week. I hope everything goes your way. Stay safe. But please, above all, check your fluids. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Folks. The greatest folks. Thanks, guys. Cat, say bye. Do it. Cat, do it. No, but seriously. Thank you, guys. Check your fluids.